Hi friends, Miss Ellen here with Lighthearted Learning. I hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about writing. Writing! Sometimes it's hard to write. And this little friend in this story, Ralph tells the story, has a lot of trouble writing. He has what's called writer's block, where he can't think of any ideas of what to write. And he is stuck. All right, so I have a clue for you to help you if you get stuck when it comes time for writing. Now, here's my suggestion. You make a list of things that you are interested in or know a lot about, because things you're interested in or know a lot about are easy to write about, okay? So I'm going to show you how to make a list. Now, a list is like a grocery list. All right, it's not a lot of words. It's just one or two big ideas on a paper, okay? So like this, like a grocery list. This is Daddy's grocery list. And it says apples at the top. It doesn't say I need to get apples. It says apples. So you know you're going to get apples. You don't have to write a big sentence. It's just one big idea. Bread. Sometimes there's two words like facial tissue, and I know that I have to get facial tissue. So this is like the list that you might make when you go to the grocery store. Now you make a list of the things that interest you or you know a lot about, and those will be easy for you to write about so you won't get stuck next time when it's time to write. Okay? Let's see how Ralph gets over his writer's block. And Ralph tells a story. Look, he's stuck here. There's nothing on the paper. Ralph tells a story by Abby Hanlon. All right, look at poor Ralph. He's having the time. All right, my teacher always says stories are everywhere. And the kids in my class are always finding them. But every day at writing time, I thought really hard. I stared at my paper. I stared at the ceiling. I could not write a story. I have no story. So I looked for other things to do. I went to the water fountain. Can I go to the bathroom? Again, I roamed the hallways. Can I help the lunch ladies? What? I tried everything. Then one day, after getting sent back to my desk, I begged Daisy for help. I can't write a story because nothing happens to me. Are you kidding? She said. I've written a ton of stories about you. She began pulling her stories out of her desk. Look at this one. She said, remember the time you let me brush your hair? And this one, remember the time you knocked down all the crayons? Oh, and remember the time you painted your nails with a black marker? I thought, I'll never be a great writer like Daisy. Then Daisy stapled all her stories together. Click, click. Wow, she said. This book is already 13 pages. Click, click. Can I use a stapler? I asked. I was really good at stapling. But you have nothing to staple, said Daisy. You have to find a story first. Just look around. So I looked for stories out the window, in the aquarium, in my desk. Why do you have socks in your desk? And when my teacher wasn't looking, I looked for stories on the floor. But still, no stories. Lying under my desk reminded me of lying in the grass at the park. I closed my eyes and imagined I was at the park. Just like that time, a little inchworm crawled on my knee. The sun was shining right into my eyes. Squinting, I picked up the wiggly inchworm and looked at it up close up. And that's when my teacher found me. What's your story about? She asked. I opened my eyes. I saw an inchworm. Wonderful, she said. I can't wait to read what you wrote. But there was no inchworm story. I sat down and tried to write about the inchworm, but right away I got stuck. Do you know any inchworm stories? I asked Daisy. She just rolled her eyes and kept on writing. And then my teacher said, writers, come to the rug, time to share. Ralph, "Why don't you go first?" said the teacher. I pretended that I lost my paper. It didn't work. I walked to the front of the rug. It took a long time. I held my paper against my chest so no one could see it. "I was at the park," I said. An inchworm crawled on my knee. It was quiet. My heart went thump, 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 thump. That's when I looked at Daisy. "Wow, really? Did it feel squishy, Ralphie? Did you take it home?" And then everybody started asking me questions. "Did your mom let you keep it? Did you touch it? Was it a baby? Was it a girl? Did it tickle? Did you name it?" Wait a minute, I thought. Something did happen with that inchworm. Well, I picked up the inchworm and decided to name him Nick. I built Nick a home, but he just inched away. So I followed him, which is why I didn't notice that someone was following me. And then all of a sudden, this wobbly, crazy baby grabbed Nick and put him in his diaper. No! I tried to be calm. "Come on, baby," I said really nicely. "Give Ralphie the inchworm." It didn't work. Was this the end of Nick? But then I noticed Nick was escaping. He crawled right up the baby's stomach. Quickly, I rescued Nick and ran. And we spent the rest of the afternoon doing nothing together. The end. Everybody clapped and cheered. "Show the picture, Ralph," someone said. "Wonderful, hooray." I wasn't embarrassed anymore, so I did. That was last year. This year, I write stories all the time. I keep finding stories everywhere. This book might be too thick to staple. Here are Ralph's writing tips. Get comfortable. It's okay to ask for help. You can always write about what you had for breakfast. Eat lots of chocolate. And here are all these books that Ralph has written now. Amazing! Hey friends, you make a list of things that interest you and then you won't have writer's block and you'll be able to be a good writer just like Ralph. All right, until next time.